y'all can hear my sound. I don't know if y'all can or not. Or if y'all hear my refrigerator. But I'm gonna cut some foam up. So I was like, might as well see what y'all are doing. Anybody that comes on here. I know nobody's on here right now. I realize that. Like I'm not oblivious to the fact that nobody's here. Just gonna put the comments on my TV screen so I can see what y'all are saying. I can find my own channel. You know, I'm hoping that I even did this right. Sometimes I'll be screwing it up. Obviously, there we go. Right there. Bam, live. All right, cool. My hands here yet? Nope. All right, so apparently it's a little delayed, but we'll see what happens. All right, I'm just gonna cut some stuff up, make some things, do whatever. I'm here in my garage because I don't want to absorb too many fumes, so I'll make sure this place is ventilated and turn this fan on. Again, hopefully y'all can hear what I'm saying. I honestly don't have a clue if y'all can or not. Hopefully not blow a circuit while I'm out here. Turn this fan on. There we go. All right. Now we're ready. Looks like I'm the only person that's joined my channel so far, joined the live stream so far. It's all good. I'll do what I gotta do regardless if anyone's here or not. First, I'm gonna cut some foam here, get my cup out the way so I don't spill it. And I do have a few little action figures here in case somebody does pop on and wants to chat about anything. We can chat. I'm gonna cut this cardboard a little straighter. Here's my cardboard that I had the other day. Here we go. All right, put this foam here. Let's see, Mad Logic 44, what's going on, man? Just gonna cut some foam real quick. So I was like, might as well go live, see what y'all are up to. Just gonna cut this right here. See how this thing does some cutting. Not gonna tell you what I'm gonna cut. Just gonna cut some stuff. All is well, man. I appreciate that. I'm trying to see the live chat up here, but I can't see it. Where's my live chat? Live chat, there we go. All right, I don't think that worked. All right, hopefully I'll see what y'all say, if y'all say anything. All right, make a few cuts here first. Is my sound good? I should ask that first because I don't know if my sound is any good. So I'll make this first cut. Make it wide. About that wide right there. Well, sounds good. All right, cool. I wasn't sure. I just hopped on and started assuming everything was good. All right, get this stupid thing locked on. All right. Just me and you today, Mad Logic 44. Hope all is well in your world as well. Man, you know, I'm actually hoping that I don't pop this wire. I was actually recording a video from my other channel and ended up popping that wire. So I went crooked. Dang it. I always go crooked. All right. Wave the smoke away. That's a straight edge. Come back over here. Lock this off so this is straighter. Yeah, we'll go about right there. Use those scraps for something else. I really gotta learn how to just be like, go straight all the way. Like I got a little nervous hand or something. All right, cool. Hey, I appreciate the like there. Makes me feel better about myself. All right, now I'm gonna cut this with the razor blade so I can get a straighter edge. Put that aside. Grab some cardboard because my wife didn't want me to cut this cheap plastic table. Hey, what's going on? Obi-Wan Chingones? Just here cutting some stuff. Let's see. Cut that right there. Really hoping I don't cut to the table. All right. Dang it, it went crooked. All right. Can't go crooked on these. I've learned. So let's see. Right there. You gotta go straight up and down. Shout out to all the people who build these things all the time, because this is hard. See how ugly that cut is? All right, let me try a different blade. Don't worry, I brought new ones. Brought some new blades here, just in case I screwed that up, which I did. Kind of. Actually, you know what? I should be able to break these off. I have no idea how to tell when they're old or new. That didn't cut the way I thought it would, but we'll see what happens. Have y'all backed any of the Kickstarters going on right now? They got Mythic XD, and the new Odious figure. Obi-Wan Chingones says a little dial building, something like that, trying. Every time I try to do this dial building, I'm reminded of all the people that do this all the time. They make it look so easy. I'm like, how y'all do it like that? And then they're like, go look at my videos. I actually show you how to do everything. And then I still screw up somehow. All right, there we go. That's pretty straight. We'll call that straight. And let's see. I'm like, what? I don't even know what I'm building. All right. We'll call it right there. Now, there's I guess it's a toy show here in Austin in 2 weekends. Not this weekend, but the following weekend. And I'm gonna go sell some extra action figures that I have. And I was like, let me see if I can just build a few little things and possibly sell those as well. So here I am trying to do something. Does that look straight? That's not very straight. I think that'll work for what I'm gonna do though. All right, that'll work. So I'm not gonna texture these because kids are asleep and I don't feel like waking them up. So we're gonna just improvise right now. Also, one thing that I learned from building stuff is that you don't want to glue the stuff together before you paint it. That was my problem. I kept gluing things before I painted it. It made things way more difficult. So I've learned here. So that's 7. That's about 0.5 right there. We'll call it that. All right. What I do want to try to build is, which I'll tell y'all that because I'm going to try it here, is a treasure chest for my plunderlings. I want to try to build one of those. I got the idea because of the new Mythic Legions. Is it Mythic Legions? Yeah, Mythic Legions. They got a treasure chest, and I was like, oh, that's dope. And I was like, oh, I could probably make one out of styrofoam. I'm also probably like, I probably can't make one, but we'll see what happens. All right, those 2 pieces are good right there. I'm gonna leave those 2 pieces. And then let's see. Yeah, we'll cut that right there. We'll call it right there. Do want to get rid of that nasty soft edge. By the way, if y'all hear weird noises, I'm in my garage. So we got like a refrigerator, a water softener, what is that? A water heater, some sort of filter thing, a couple fans going so I don't die from this inhalation of these fumes. So my apologies if y'all hear any weird noises. I was gonna crack my garage, but I was like, what if a wild animal comes in here? So I brought my gun too with me just in case a wild animal comes at me. Take take care of that. Hopefully no wild animals come at me though. I also got some action figures here to test whatever I'm gonna be building. So, like I said, I won't be gluing anything together because I've learned don't glue things together. It just ruins things for you. Let's see. Am I gonna do this? That there. That's one thing about trying to figure out the height of things. Especially we got 112 figures that they're not always the same size or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm putting my hand here so y'all know I didn't just leave. Like I got Odious here. What is this guy? Primal. What is this thing called? Animal Kingdom. Kingdom of the Animals. Spiro Toys makes this guy. Also got. If you're looking for a strong body blank, this one right here is legit. Right here, it's Romanki, I think, is the one that makes this. I don't have a name on his foot or his butt, but yeah, this one right here is dope. I know they have a black one that they just released that people are just painting the white spider logo on it. This is a dope body figure though right here. Body figure. This is a dope blank figure. If you're looking for a big body, that's a good one. I got a Cosmic Legion here, and then Vulcan right there from Marvel Legends. I guess y'all could probably tell the angle that these figures are at. It's probably gonna be a chair that I'm making. It's a chair. I'm gonna make some chairs. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. That height right there. That's a good height. All right. So we'll cut that in half. The only thing that sucks about these right here is that I'm American and these are in centimeters. So it's not 15. Okay. This is not set at 7.5. This is 7.5, right about there. All right. Let's see. Matt Lodge 44 says, I love me some Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Thank you. I was like, what is this thing called? I could not remember for the life of me what the actual line was called. But yeah, it's from Spiro Toys, and they do have Wave 2 coming out soon. Now, y'all notice I'm using this this bar right here. This is one that comes with the Proxon cutter. It's kind of wobbly. I made my own cheapy one using some what is it? A clipboard and some hot glue and some other foam to kind of get a little bit more solid feel to it. But it doesn't slide in here as easily as the other gate, so that's why I was using that one. But I'm gonna switch up to this right now. Come to think about, yeah, I'm gonna leave those that way. All right, so we got that. And I wish I could do a tutorial, but I have no idea what I'm doing, so no tutorial. And we'll call it about, yeah, we'll call it about right there. It's about the same. Okay. All right, so we're gonna use that. Was about 55 millimeters, 5.5 centimeters is what we're going. So we're gonna do that real quick. Cut this, and sometimes I never know which side to have my fingers on, and I don't want to burn myself. I seen some other people like, this wire doesn't get that hot, and then they touch the wire. I'm not gonna do that. I just believe them instead. It's a lot easier to believe people than to go and try it yourself. So I was gonna split my fingers far enough apart so that way I don't cut myself. And there we go. I actually did burn myself. Well, I touched the wire. I didn't burn myself, but I touched the wire when I was trying to do a. Don't tell me. I was trying to cut a circle, and I burned myself. It didn't burn all that much. I will say they were right. All right, guys. I think I made a chair using these 4 pieces. Yep, I think I made one. All right, cool. That's what the chair is gonna look pretty much. See that? It's like that. I'm gonna texture these first and then paint them and then glue them all together though. That's the whole plan. But there's no pieces for one. I'm gonna do another second one real quick just to do it. So we're gonna get this back out. Bring this back to 75 millimeters. I don't know what that is in inches. This ruler is the stupidest ruler I have in my house, but it was convenient. Neither one of these millimeters or meters or standards start at the edge, so it's the dumbest thing ever. It's also a 15-inch ruler. I don't know why, but I honestly don't even know where that came from. Avoid cutting your digit off live on YouTube. I don't know, man. I mean, it might go viral, so that might be terrible advice that you're giving me. All right, this one's a lot larger piece of foam, so this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult. We're gonna slide it right through, and look how crooked that cut is, but it's okay because I'm gonna texture it, so we should be good stuff. Oh god, like stuttered at the end. Clip that edge. All right, when y'all see it, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, you suck." All right, whatever. Still works out. And then we're just gonna finish. We're just gonna measure it up to these pieces right here. So, that being said, I do gotta cut this straighter. That's not that bad. Yeah, that's bad. I'm just gonna cut that straight piece off right there. So, do that. And slice right through. I can see that little boom. I did that one time and then busted that wire. So let's try not to do that. Ken the Band says witchcraft. You know, at first I thought it was. So I was like, there's no way you can do that. That's impossible. All right, so I'm gonna measure up this piece right here. I'm just gonna cut another one like that. So because I want it that size, I'm just gonna move this here until it's the size I want. And then we'll just cut that. And I'm gonna do this split thing again. Feels like one of them James Bond spy movies where they like have a laser going to the dude's crotch and then boom, they save him right before it gets to him. Blow that smoke away. And I need 2 of these for the other chair, so I'm gonna cut another one. They say you're supposed to flip it like that to make sure that the wire doesn't keep cutting the wrong. I don't know, something about the science behind it. I'm not a scientist. I kind of am though. I got a science degree. I just don't understand this science. It is witchcraft. There we go. All right, throw that away. All right. Now I have those 2 pieces for this backing of the chair. And then this right here is from another piece that I had previously cut. So there's actually 2 chairs right there that I get to make. There we go, right there. 2 chairs I get to make. After, like I said, texturize them, do everything that I need to. I do want to try to make a treasure chest. I probably won't be on past midnight if I could even. I don't even know what time it is, to be honest with y'all. Lucky Butter, what's going on, man? It says, what did I miss? I thought for 1 second it was Sunday. You got me, Sonny. Good one. Nah, man, I'm just cutting some stuff. So I was like, let's go live with it. All right, so I'm gonna make it. I want to make a treasure chest. I don't want to make it too big, so I want it for a plunderling, but I didn't bring a plunderling with me. That was dumb. That was dumb on my part, not on y'all part. It's purely my part. Put that gun out the way so I can see what I'm doing here. No, but the way I want to do it is I do want to build it with the four walls, of course, and then a curved trunk lid. So we'll see how I can possibly do that. Let's see. We're gonna cut, and it's gonna be thinner. It's not gonna be this thick, so I'm gonna end up cutting this in half. So I think I'm gonna want it to be probably about, we'll call it 4 centimeters long. I am gonna cut it down because I think it's too long for a plunderling. Maybe I'll leave it long, because then other figure lines can use it. So just cut this at the 4 centimeters. There we go. Cut it 4 centimeters. I was gonna do individual slats for the wood, but I was like, this makes it easier to do it. One block, and then I'll just cut the lines or carve the lines. Lucky Butter says, "You ever finish a tower for your kid's game board?" No, he decided not to, not to do anything with it. I was talking to his friend who was running the game, and he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." I was like, "All right, man, I have no idea what y'all do." Then they went off to college, so I don't even see them fools. Ken the Band says, "Swapping over to the TV. I want to watch the magic happen on a big screen." I like that. I like that idea. So now I'm gonna split this in half, and these blocks are approximately 15 millimeters deep. Let's get this stupid ruler. So yeah, 15 millimeters deep. So I'm gonna try to get this at about 7.5 milliliters, which is kind of impossible to know. Also, like I said, this stupid ruler starts off zero for some reason. So we're gonna eyeball it. And that looks about half right there. Maybe scooch a bit. Yeah, there we go. After scooching a bit, that's about right. So I'm gonna slit this right in half. And I'm gonna keep my thumb on the far end right here so I don't burn it. Although I do work on cars a lot, well, my cars a lot, and my thumb is pretty roughed up, so I don't even think I'd feel it if that happened. So that'll be the outer walls, which that's kind of still kind of thick. Maybe I'll go a little bit thinner. Should I go thinner? What y'all think? Thinner than that? Nah, I think that's about good. So those are the outside walls right there. Now I'm gonna need some inside walls for it. I might actually I might go get my glue gun and glue this so I can see what it actually looks like. But we're gonna call that, what is that about? This gauge right here has centimeters all along it. So if I want it to be 3 centimeters wide, it feels too tall for that wide. We'll go 4 centimeters wide like that. That might be too high. I'm gonna cut that by, yeah, I think it's gonna need to be 3 centimeters. All right, we're gonna do that 3 centimeters, so we'll just cut that right there. And I do save all my scraps, thinking that I'm gonna do something else with them one day. But these actually work for the slats that I need later. All right, there we go. It's a little bit more manageable. Let's push this to the edge, and so then 3 looks a little bit better. I still think that's too fat. What size is this? We're gonna cut that down to size. There we go. I didn't cut that right in half. See, Marcus G, what's going on, man? Is that even? I think that's gonna burn my hand if I try it. Go a little bit thinner. It can be thin. All right, there we go. Actually, that might be what I was looking for right there. Looking for that thin. So that thin right there, 3 centimeters deep is what we'll go with. Since I don't need this anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and use that for this inner part right there because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a little bit more than 7 centimeters. So I can cut that by 3 and it'll be good. But since I already have these, I already have this width set, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this to that width. Let me get that away from there first. All right. This one I might burn my hand. Keep going, keep going. All right. So it doesn't matter that that got damaged because I'm cutting this by 3 and that little extra centimeter won't bother me. So set that at 3 centimeters. And again, we're gonna go with the James Bond cut, laser to the crotch. While that's still going, laser to the crotch. There we go. All right, that's lovely. Those are lovely cuts, everyone. Oh, we want you to go to says your Mexican Sonny just eyeball it. That's pretty much what I'm doing because that ruler sucks. There we go. So that builds the walls of the treasure chest. Let me keep that over there. Oh, just ruined it. Crispy, clean lines, says Mark C. Like Bush says, Mark C, were you just on the Fallen Fetch stream? Mark C, we need to know. Treasure chest, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do treasure chest. I got inspired by seeing Mythic Legions release their treasure chest accessory pack. I still want to get that accessory pack, but I was like, I still want to see if I can build a treasure chest too. So this is the treasure chest that I want to build right here. Um, I did kind of do it stupidly because I want to try to cut. Well, no, I didn't. Sorry, I did it smartly. I did it a very smart way. I got to cut a 3 millimeter circle. So here's where my next little, because I didn't want to spend money, invention gets here. All right, so this right here is a guy. It's a thing. It's a thing I made. So if I want it to be 3 millimeter trunk lid, Marcy says, I already said yes. Laser to the crotch, slips and gets the wire on finger. Yeah, that's the laser to the crotch technique. But if I want this to be 3 millimeters, it has to be 1.5 millimeters radius to get the 3 millimeter diameter. So I gotta eyeball this right here. Obi-Wan Chingonas. We're gonna eyeball this. That's about 1 right there. And we're gonna go about 1.5 right there. All right, so that's what we're gonna do right there. Then we're gonna cut a circle. So to cut a circle, I gotta get a piece of foam. And let's see, we're gonna do it like so. And then I'm gonna turn this on, spin this as fast as I can, and turn it off so it doesn't burn the edge too much. Let's see, Mark Z says, this is the type of rabbit hole I like to see from you. It's like Bob Ross with a lot more hot wire and Texas accent. All right, so a hush falls over the crowd while I try to cut this perfect circle. And let's do it, go. Boom, off. All right, and then you slide it back. Oh, I got stuck. Sometimes the wire gets stuck. There we go. All right, so I got me my little circle right here, and we'll just double check it to make sure that it is 3 milliliters, 3 centimeters. Ooh, it's a little bit wide, but it's okay. We can deal with it. Because if you look at this trunk lid, let me make sure I'm doing this on screen for y'all. I should have just brought glue so I can glue this at least. Look at that trunk lid, and then it's gonna go right over there. So we're gonna end up cutting this in half, and then we're gonna cut it thinner as well. So let's cut this in half first. Cut circles in halves is harder than it looks because you gotta slide it across and not turn it. And because of the fact that you can easily turn this, it sucks. So like I said, this is about 3.5 centimeters, meaning that 3.5 centimeters, so 1.75 milliliters is where we're gonna try to cut it. So, or you just use this line right here and eyeball where you got half of it, halfway. That's about halfway right there. So we're gonna put my finger here to hold it and butt that up right there. And like I said, you're gonna want to slide it all the way across. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the James Bond crotch move again, which seems like it's not gonna work this time around, but we're gonna try it anyway. If I screw it up, I'll cut another circle. Simple as that. Let's see. Marcus says, "Ooh." Like your brother says, "Is there a campfire lit behind you? Or are we secretly outside?" We're not outside. We're in my garage, so you might hear weird noises. I got a water softener, some sort of filter that they put on there, my refrigerator, and like 2 or 3 fans. So you might hear weird noises. Animals also might attack. I might have to open up the garage door, and I brought my Desert Eagle just in case an animal attacks or something. I can just blast it out and then be like, all right, let's get on with the show, guys. So I'm gonna slide this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cheat this here. And what I mean is, if I can find something to tack it down, because I only need half of that circle. Because I'm gonna cut that half into smaller halves, and then go from there. So what I'm gonna do is, if I can find a small nail. Good thing I'm in my garage full of wonderful things that I never use. All right, so we'll do this. Because I don't want it to spin, I'm going to put a square piece of foam. I'm going to put through the nail so that the nail will hold that there and it'll hold this piece on as well. And I'll slide the square piece. So that's what we're going to do instead. So that way, and you know what, we'll just use this circle piece right here. So if it's going to be right there, this nail will go through and pierce it. Let me show y'all on screen. That nail will pierce this right here. It's taller than it, so it'll stick into there. So with that on the edge right there, go ahead and pierce this nail through. Let's see. Actually, those are little bumpy sides, so I'm gonna put that bumpy side right there. So we'll cut the clean side and just pierce that nail through right there. There we go. So it's pierced it through. So now I can slide this and it'll cut that circle for me. It's gonna cut the foam underneath it as well, but I really don't care. There we go. All right. So now we cut that perfect circle right there, perfect half circle. This is still stuck to it, but I don't care about that part. This is what I was looking for. All right. So now we'll get these pieces back up because we're gonna want to cut it the same thickness. That's the first time I used the word thickness and wasn't referring to a female, so that's crazy. Let's see. Mark C says, "Can you even show that on stream?" LMAO. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of sure. There's a slight bit of me that's sure about that. Marcy says, if you see a skinwalker, run. If you see a raccoon, say hi for me. I love them. Hey, there's a bunch of raccoons around here too. They're aggressive over here. I don't know about them. Lucky Bird says you should have used a slightly smaller caliber. You'd have to get a whole cleanup crew if you hit an animal with that deagle. This is actually 357. It's not that. It's not a 50 cal. It's a 357. I bought this for like very cheap for a Desert Eagle. Plus, it's basically firing a $20 bill out the barrel of that pistol. Nah, man, it's like I said, it's a 357, which is cool. Let's see, because this 357 actually holds 9 rounds. Obviously, the ninth round is chambered in it, but yeah, it holds 9 rounds instead of a 350 50 cal, which I believe holds 7. You can also get in a 44, and that holds 8 rounds. And that concludes gun time with Sonny. All right, so we got this piece here, and it looks like I actually. Oh, okay. So that little damage right there is from the pin from the other side of. What was it from the little circle thing that I used right there? So I split it almost directly in half. That's pretty good. I'm more amazed at that than I am that it came out nice. All right. So because our treasure chest thickness will be this thick, we're gonna go ahead and move this back and into place right there. Slide this piece out. And then we're gonna cut 2 pieces out of this because it's gonna of course need 2 walls, 2 curvy things. Mark C says, "Ooh, we're using numbers tonight." That's right. Luckbird says, "Oh, okay. LOL. My buddy always went with the large rounds for some reason. Maybe he was compensating." No, I love the look of the Desert Eagle. I want a 50 cal. I want the 24 karat gold one, but this one I found for $800. It was technically a used gun, but it had never been fired, so I got it for $800, and I couldn't pass that up. So that's why I have a 357 version. All right, so we're gonna cut this first one here. Boom, good job. I told myself good job. There we go. I mean, y'all could have said, "Hey, good job," but I'll tell myself it. I don't care. All right, cool. So we got those 2 pieces. I should have brought my hot glue gun so I could like put this together. All right, so how are these taller? I cut these from the same piece. There we go. Just have to orient them the same way. I guess I'll have to need to make a bottom for it too. But there we go. See that? See that? So it'll fit on there. The trunk lid will fit on there like that. Now I do want to make some slats to go across it, so it has the curvature look like that to it. So what I have to figure out is how wide I want those slats, and then how many slats I'm gonna need for it. The easiest way to do that, did I bring what are the tools that I bring out here? Brought a protractor as well. I don't know if it's gonna help me because it's not the same size. No, it's not gonna help. But if you know about diameter and stuff like that, you'll know this is about 3.5 across here, and then times pi r squared, you get the diameter, and you'll be able to figure out the circumference of the circle. I don't feel like doing all that math right now, so we're just gonna roll it. Can y'all see it right there? We're gonna roll it on that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5. So we cut 5 little slats across. They're gonna be this size. They're gonna be, of course, thinner. So we're gonna get another piece of styrofoam. Let's see. Some of y'all are like, "Man, Sonny, you sound like you know what you're talking about." I know, right? It's crazy. All right, so you're gonna want this thin, so that's slightly less than 3, or that it's gonna be this long. It doesn't really need to be 3. So if we're gonna do 5, we'll kick it back to right there. We'll cut 5. Now, when I cut it, it's also obviously going to take a little bit of the foam away. So that's fine though, because it's gonna curve, so we're gonna have a little bit of open spots. So we're gonna cut it at 5, and we'll go from there. All right, cut this here. Sorry about that. Hit the microphone. I know I have microphone issues where I hit the microphone a lot, or I just go off camera and it just goes crazy. All right, so we're gonna cut this. Again, I can't go too fast. I don't want to pop that wire, and then y'all gotta watch me fix the wire, and then it gets boring. Let's see. Marcy says, "Good job. Yeah, all right. Lucky bullets is never fire, but what's all this black stuff inside the barrel? Oh, don't worry, that's just yeah, no, I do. When I first got this, I was like, dang, this is brand new. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, this is probably a murder weapon. I bought it anyway because it was a good deal. Lucky bullets says, not a bad deal on that piece. Mark C, you working on any customs lately? Marcus G, are you excited? Cowboy Odious. I know Marcus G wants cowboys, the Western wear. I sounded weird. Sorry about that, Marcus Z. I'm like, he wants cowboys. No, Western wear is what I meant. And we don't have too many 1/12 scale cowboy figures or Western figures, I should say. All right, so this is the length of the slats right there. Is that Sonny? My bad, dude. My bad. All right, let's see. Get this back here. James Bond laser crotch. There we go. Wave the smoke away. All right. So these are gonna be what I'm gonna cut my slats from. Marcy says the fact that you're the second person to say, Marcus, you surely like Cowboys, right? My bad, dude. That came out totally wrong, man. That's on me. That's on me. All right. So we're gonna cut the wood slats the same thickness as these walls here. So we're gonna move this back here. You can cut them in any order, but I'm gonna cut them thin first and then slice them apart after that. Actually, just slice them like that and cut 5 of them, and I'll be good. Because I was gonna totally do something completely different, but that makes more sense to cut it like the meat cutters at the deli markets. Let's see. Marcy said, "Lucky, but actually, I was sanding some 3D prints for a John Kent Superman, but that's it so far." You know what? I'm gonna use this for my Houston Texans mascot Toro. I'm gonna use this body instead. This body is dope. I like this body. All right, let's cut some slats. And I mentioned that earlier that I learned from someone else. You're supposed to flip it over whenever you cut them like this. So I'm gonna cut that, flip it over. I need 5 of those. Let the other ones just slide off of there. There's 3 of them. See that little ping sound? That means I'm doing it too fast. So I'm gonna go a little bit slower. So I'm gonna pop that wire. There we go. Look at that. No ping sound. It's lovely. That's what you want to not hear. And there we go right there. All right. And we got our 5 slats. Slide that back over. Like I said, these will just eventually just get glued. But see, they still seem too thick or too much. All right. I'm going to cut these in half because I think it'll look cooler if they're smaller than this. They don't really curve that well. So, let's see. Should we cut them? Yeah, I think I'm going to cut them thinner. Or cut them in half, basically. I think I will need my hot glue gun, though. All right, and these are about 1.5. So, again, we're going to try to get 1.75 here. That's about halfway. All right, so we'll cut those in half. Let's see, I feel like just a hair more this way. All right, this will actually be because I don't think it's a fully full 5 millimeters, millimeters, not milliliters. A full 5 millimeters across. This will help out if it's like 4.5. Also, you want to make sure that you put your pieces right way, like in the right areas, because I almost grabbed the wrong piece and cut the wrong piece. So there we go. Let's see. Logic 44 says, but you do like Cowboys, yeah. Marcy says, "Oh, have you seen the Venom custom that's being sold? I forget where it's, but the black version with the white eyes and I think a white symbiote logo. Yeah, people are just getting the black one. And they're painting the symbiote logo on there. It looks real nice. And this face right here, the black one, it's supposed to be colored teeth and gums. This is just all same color, but the black one's supposed to be colored differently. I don't know for sure, but it's supposed to be. Mark C says, at my live 44, I swear y'all are gonna inadvertently put Cowboys on my mind. Like versus Mark C, oh nice. The last time you showed off some of the progress from the other customs, they look great. Mad Logic 44 says, Sonny, do you have a heat gun or hair dryer? It will soften so that you can make bends. I do actually have a heat gun. Where's it at? I just saw it a minute ago. Oh, right over there. I might do that then. Marcy says, gonna crash out the second someone whispers, howdy, partner in my ear. Like versus, or maybe your Google will start showing you tons and tons of cowboy ads. Man, Google's weird. They be doing that. Mark C says, Luckybird, thanks, man. I'm just in a procrastination mode right now, but I'm gonna get them done hopefully before the year ends. I've been saying that about my Toro figure one of these days. Obi-Wan Chigona says, if you have the previous Unparalleled Universe Kickstarter, why not just buy soft goods and make what you want? You can do that. If you price out the soft goods, though, for what you get with the Odious figure, sometimes it might be a little bit worth it to get that second body. But yeah, it is all up to you. But the fact that there was like I think 5 or 6 heads packed in with the Odious, you could technically build an army of Odiouses with one being an army Odious, if that makes any sense. But yeah, now I've priced different soft goods and stuff, and sometimes if you piece them out separately, it's kind of expensive. Marksy says no. Obi-Wan goes, that's true. Don't let Wade hear that though. No, I mean that's the way it is with every soft goods figure. Like, um, I mean, I know like there will be those later Odiouses, like that blue Odious. That one looks dope. Because it's kind of like Mezco, like when they do the repaints. I guess this is a redress, but like I said, if you price out the pieces, it does come out better, cheaper. Either way, no matter how you buy a figure, it comes out cheaper if you buy the figure with all the soft goods already. Mad Lodge 44 says, just careful, it'll melt it also. So light heat. Because like when I made my custom hood, um, I think the pants were like 14. The jacket, I think, was 20. The white shirt was like 6 maybe. So you put money into buying the soft goods individually. Like that's just part of, I mean, that's just the nature of trying to put soft goods. I'm gonna use these thick ones to check it out, but eventually they'll get glued on like that, little slats like that. So it'll create a lid like that. If y'all can see what I'm doing, my fingers are covering up everything. I just gotta be careful because these things feel like they're about to snap every time I touch them. But yeah, so I'll glue them on there. It'll look like a little trunk lid. Like I said, I should have brought my hot glue with me. It's actually 11:50. I'm probably gonna hop off in 12 minutes, but those are the pieces that I'm gonna do. All that I need. Oh, you know what? I need a bottom for this. And that bottom has to be pretty strong. It's gonna need to be like a power bottom. So This is actually the same thickness that I cut that, so we'll just use that. We'll cut that thin. Actually, the bottom will probably be a little bit thicker. See that? I mean, not that thick, but I'm gonna cut that in half. That'll be the bottom, and then I'll chop off that piece so it fits within the confines. So let me get these pieces off. And like I said, I don't want it to be like just so flimsy that it falls apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this here. There we go. Nice. All right. Great job. Me again. Did an amazing job doing that cut. Luck says, no worries. I've also had a couple projects and things I procrastinated on myself for the last few months. Marcy says, I had a Robin Hood order from Etsy for one of my projects, but that was back in September. All right. So then this piece right here will go into there. And because it's an internal piece to that right there, we're going to need to make sure, because it's going to be within the confines of this little box right here. So, holding that piece back on, we're going to lop that much off. So, put that piece there. It's about 1 centimeter. And then we'll drop it flat. Move it along. All right. So that should build up enough there. My bad. Let me know when y'all can't see it. I have no idea because every now and then I look up at my TV screen to see what I'm doing, but sometimes I don't. So yeah. So there's the inside of the treasure chest right there. Did I put that the wrong way? Yeah, I did. Okay. Those aren't exactly square, which is really annoying me. But yeah, so it's a little box right there. And then, like I said, we have these slats that will eventually be hot glued onto these little curvatures. And there'll be a lid on there. I might even go get some little hinges and hot glue hinges on there so that way the trunk lid will open and close. But for right now, it's just gonna be on there. And then what I'll do is I'll cut little pieces here and here to make it look like they're the edges. It'll probably be like really thin pieces so that they kind of look realistic and not too fake. But that'll come. I'm gonna leave this like this. My wife's gonna get mad because she'll be like, the garage is all dirty now. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes. Sorry for shaking the camera. I don't know if y'all got motion sickness from that. Let's see. Mark G says hinges from Etsy and Hobby Lobby Michaels are great. I need to get some dollhouse drawer handles. Yeah, that's where I had saw some small hinges were at. I think I was at Michaels when I saw it. Mark C says, please do more streams like this. Yeah, man. I mean, this was the intention for that other channel, but that other channel has 5 subscribers. So it's like, I wasn't going to get on. Like, I got 7 here, 7 viewers here. So I was like, I wasn't going to get on a channel with 5 subscribers and be like, hey, guys, I'm just talking to myself here. But yeah, so I'll still do these things. I'll probably just download this video and then put it on that other channel as a video. Yeah, I got on the channel. It's called I'm trying my darndest. It's where I cut stuff. Like on the other channel, I showed how to build this little wall thing that I made right here. I think I showed how to make it. I know I recorded it. And then I showed how to make this thing, I think. I think I showed this as well. I try to show how to do these things cheap because you could buy a fence like this. They call it a fence. You could buy one. It's precision cut. It's laser. It is better than mine, but mine was from a Dollar Tree clipboard. So I paid $1.25 for the clipboard. I already had the glue and I had the extra foam block. So versus paying like $40 for one. So it worked out for me. Mark, she says, I'm trying my darndest, screams in fear of Cowboys. Yeah, it brings it right back to Cowboys. That's unfortunate. That's the unfortunate part of this business. No, but yeah, no, I mean, this is cool. I like doing this. I hadn't had a chance to do a whole lot because I've been busy at work. But I was like, finally, we slowed down. So I was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and build something now. These still feel thick, but I mean, I like the word, I like where they're going. I will end up having to do really thin ones so that I can bend them or try with the heat gun like Matlock 44 mentioned. Because like this even might be too thick to bend. See, feels like it'll snap. But I'll probably try the heat trick. Or maybe let's try something right here. Let's just try this because this wire gets really hot. So let's move that all here. I'm wondering if I can just maneuver this around here while it's hot. Let's see what we can do. Obi-Wan Chigona says, I like for you to try your comedy material while you build dials. Wishful thinking on my part. You know what? Let me try. I'll have to get another because this is the phone that I use to record all my stuff or type down what I think are going to be my jokes. I could try that though. If I get a different, I'll use one of my other phones to stream, and I can have it there, and I can scroll through and try out the jokes and stuff. So that's a good idea, man. I might try that. All right, so I'm gonna let that get hot. It should start turning orange. Let's see. Is it hot enough? No, it's not hot enough. I figured it would emit some heat, but it's not doing enough. All right. Actually, it kind of did curve it. All right, we're gonna try heat gun. Now I've never used this heat gun. I don't think I've ever used this heat gun, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. My dad was like, "You want a heat tool, not a heat gun, heat tool." Marcy says, "Wait, maybe score lines in it so it can curve." Oh, that's a good idea too. Y'all have some great ideas, everyone. You know what? Let's see. I'm gonna cut this one really. No, wait, that's my. Is that part of my treasure? Yeah, that's part of my treasure chest. Let's not do that one. No, this thicker one. All right, we're gonna cut this piece right here. Nope, that's the bottom of my treasure chest. Remember how I said do not get the stuff mixed up. Here we go. Take this nail out. Cut this really thin. When I say thin, I mean really thin. Maybe if I even get that thin, like 1 millimeter thin. Gotta make it quick so it doesn't mess up the stuff, but not enough to make it snap my wire or go bong. There we go. All right. Actually, that right there. If I cut it 1 millimeter, it'll curve just fine. Let's see, Mark C says heat guns can cause the foam to contract and air pockets will shrink unless it's different than EVA foam for cosplay. I think it is different from the EVA foam, but this right here would be thin enough. It's like 1 milliliter. 1 millimeter. My goodness, man, I'm never gonna get this conversion right. These Europeans. Yeah, look at that. Because I want to make it look like it has metal bands that hold the wood together and not just like it's sloppily done. Marcy says, if it's too thin, hopefully it won't collapse when you assemble it. I don't think so, see? So I don't need the heat gun. I can just use this thin piece right here that I actually just cut. And it's actually pretty malleable. You just rub on it a little and stay curved. Yeah, so I'll do that. Use this. So I guess what I'll do is, since this is good enough here, yeah, that's good enough. All right, let me cut another more thin pieces like that. because those will eventually be the strapping, the metal strapping for this. Because I don't want it too thick to where it looks goofy. I want it to look nice. Because y'all are some nice people for being here tonight. All right, let's cut some straps. Oh, that's like so thin. That piece is anorexic. It's so thin. See, I'm just cutting these thin pieces and then I'll just have a lot for straps later. I should be flipping this block, but these are so thin that I don't think it's going to make a difference whether or not I flip it. And I can get a whole lot of pieces out of this. And so once I assemble it, then if I can get this static clean off of there. Once I actually assemble it, then I can put these straps on it. So I'll assemble it and then paint it. And then we'll figure out how these straps are going to work for it. But I do want to get enough cut that I'm squared away for tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I can build some more of it. I can get these things off. There we go. Yeah, so those will work right there. So I can't use that because it has a hole in it, but I'll be able to strap one right there and then do the other side as well. So cool. Hey, but I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Just rub it. Marcus E, we're not talking about Cowboys anymore. No, but I do appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for showing up. Matt Lodge 44, Marcus Yee, Obi-Wan Chingones. Am I forgetting anybody? I think that's about it. Lucky Butter. Shout out for y'all coming through. Anybody else that came through didn't stop and chat. Thanks again for coming out. Yeah. Hopefully, like I said, we'll do this again. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I can hop back on if I'm not too busy and finish this up and hot glue all this together so y'all can see what it looks like before we get to painting and stuff. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Have a great rest of the week. We got Thursday and Friday here. So have a great rest of the week, and we'll see y'all next time. If I can figure out how to turn this live stream off. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's closed. Maybe that button. Nope, that's not it either. This is a good one. Can't wait for the next one. Dang, I just got back. What did I miss? You missed me saying, hey, everyone, have a good one, and that I can't figure out how to turn this live stream off. There we go. Stop stream.